Hey, what's up, guys? This is David Chase Taylor of 911truther.org. Today is September 26th of 2025. So, based on breaking news and events, it appears the CIA headquarters located beneath CERN at Lake Geneva in Switzerland has ordered Israeli President Benjamin Netanyahu and his plane full of Israeli Mossad members, Israeli Shin Bet, and Israeli IDF soldiers to neutralize U.S. President Donald J. Trump prior to, during, or shortly after their slated meeting on Monday, September 29th of 2025. So for those of you that are out of the loop, U.S. President Donald J. Trump is slated to meet Israeli President Benjamin Netanyahu in Washington, D.C. on Monday, September 29th of 2025. Consequently, it's 100% certain that the CIA is going to neutralize Donald J. Trump in some form or fashion prior to this date or surrounding this date. So basically, the CIA has carefully crafted the ongoing narrative whereby they will eliminate a sitting U.S. president via their henchmen, otherwise known as the Israeli Mossad, and their de facto Führer, Benjamin Netanyahu. Okay, so exactly how the CIA plans to eliminate Donald J. Trump is obviously not known. The first scenario is that he's arrested for crimes he did not commit. That's the most likely scenario. But basically, there's a possibility that they would assassinate him. Obviously, they just assassinated Charlie Kirk, so obviously the same sniper is probably in the Netanyahu detail. But there's been basically a standoff, an ongoing standoff between Donald J. Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu, which is going to result in the death of Donald J. Trump. So just really briefly, on September 25th, Donald J. Trump stated in an interview in the Oval Office that, quote unquote, it's time to stop in respect to the ongoing Gaza war. And he said that he will, quote unquote, not allow Israel to annex the West Bank. So these are fighting words. And Benjamin Netanyahu, that same day, stated before the United Nations he's going to, quote unquote, finish the job. So there's a standoff of ideas on how to handle the Gaza Strip. Donald J. Trump met with 21 different Arab and Islamic and Muslim scholars and community leaders, and they put forth a 21-point plan on how to go forward with the Gaza Strip and the ongoing Israeli-Hamas war. And so Benjamin Netanyahu is dead set to eliminate Trump in some form or fashion. So he plans to, quote, finish the job, which means finish off Trump prior to, during, or surrounding this meeting between these two heads of state in Washington, D.C. on September 29th. Okay, so the potential scenarios. So I publish about 40 different legal scenarios roughly every few days. If you follow my blog, you know this. So obviously those are all in play. But the latest one, which is the cover that I was hinting to earlier, is that they are going to arrest Donald J. Trump for lawfare, for basically going after his political opponents. So the date of September 27th is going to mark exactly 48 hours after Donald J. Trump's new attorney filed two charges against former FBI Director James Comey for lying to Congress and for leaking information. So basically perjuring himself, telling falsehoods. So this is basically the CIA is going to neutralize Donald J. Trump in the aftermath of a fake arrest that's going to be executed by the Israeli Mossad. They're going to claim, likely, that Donald J. Trump became violent with the FBI or the U.S. Marshal Service or the Secret Service or whoever executes this raid, and that he was either had to be restrained and was subsequently suffered some sort of asphyxiation, or that he had a heart attack, or suffered some other medical related event. And in order to foreshadow this, they have been disseminating this alleged fight between Trump and his wife, Melania Trump, on Marine One a few days ago, and this is designed to foreshadow, as well as the Scott Bessent allegedly punching somebody, and Elon Musk allegedly getting a black eye. These are all various attacks that have happened on the White House grounds that will be subsequently blamed on Trump post-mortem. So it appears that they're going to arrest Trump for some sort of prosecutorial, I can't even say it, basically weaponizing the Justice Department against his political opponents, prosecutorial misconduct, if I said that right, and that appears to be the latest for September 27th, the morning of September 27th. However, there is September 28th and there is September 29th, and so we have the next 48 hours are blinking red, because as long as Israeli President Benjamin Netanyahu and his plane full of terrorists, they're literally terrorists, they're wanted for war crimes. Netanyahu himself is wanted by the International Criminal Court. These are terrorists that are inside the United States. So we can expect, in the next 48 hours, we can expect a dead president, dead congressman, dead celebrities, terror attacks, acts of war. These people need to be arrested and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. However, they are running the show, and they plan to murder a sitting U.S. president, and it's probably going to be Benjamin Netanyahu that's going to kill President Trump with his bare hands, probably choking him or stabbing him or shooting him or whatever he plans to do. This man is pure evil, and as long as he's in town, Trump is not safe. So the clock is ticking, because as soon as Netanyahu leaves town, there is a greater chance that Trump will live to see another day. But he is in, I believe, New York, because he just gave a speech at the United Nations. And so this next 48 hours or so, 72 hours, 48 hours to 72 hours, this is really, really hypercritical, because Donald J. Trump's life is literally hanging in the balance. And what they plan to do with his death is to propagandize it and then use it to spark a civil war in the United States, which is the photo of which the fight, all that stuff that surrounding the Butler assassination attempt back on July 13th, that's all propaganda that the CIA plans to use to split America up, to balkanize the United States. And so obviously this has to be stopped at all counts. So just to recap, Donald J. Trump is going to be arrested, assassinated, impeached, die of some sort of medical related event prior to, during, or shortly after the meeting with Benjamin Netanyahu on September 29th of 2025. If you go back on my YouTube channel many moons ago, when Netanyahu was last in the United States, I published a similar video, because Donald J. Trump is being targeted by the head of state of Israel. And they're the ones that killed Charlie Kirk, make no mistake about it. That was an Israeli Mossad assassination. And they plan on killing Trump in some form or fashion, and they likely plan to do it under the guise of an arrest for some trumped-up charges, no pun intended. So obviously, if this comes to fruition in reality, I kindly ask that you download this video and share it with local, state, and federal law enforcement, military, and intelligence officials, as well as with local, national, and international media outlets.